Welcome to Conversations with Masesi, where my guests and I talk everything life, family, love, community, and everything in between. They say not all heroes wear capes, some wear scrubs. And today we've got one of those real life heroes in our studio. Please help me welcome Dr. LEKOTA. Good afternoon, Doctor. How are you?
Good afternoon. I am good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And slotting us in your busy schedule, right?
It's a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to have somebody or to talk to somebody about what they do and what they love. So you visiting us today, I want to know what drew you into hospital medicine, being a doctor. What was the first thing that came to your mind and say, I am going to be a doctor?
Yeah. So the passion and the love for medicine, it really began when I was in grade 11. So 15 years of age, I already knew that I wanted to be a doctor. And funny enough, I actually used to pray about it. Every day after finish studying, I'd go on my knees and I asked God to help me to do well enough to be able to be accepted into. And I was very particular about it. I wanted to be accepted into a medicine program at the University of Cape Town.
Wow. For those that don't know where Cape Town is, let them know quickly.
Yeah, so Cape Town is basically a big city on the southern tip of Africa in the country called South Africa.
And you are from way far from Cape Town, but you went on your knees and prayed for that. Who was your mentor?
At the time?
Yeah.
My teachers, really.
Okay.
My math teacher, as well as my physics and agriculture teacher. Those are people that believed the best in me.
Okay.
And they pushed me in every way possible. They, even when I doubted myself, they somehow just knew that I had the potential, and I'm grateful for the support that they gave me. Teachers play such an important role.
That's so incredible. At 15, you know you want to be a doctor, but if that couldn't happen, what were you going to be other than being a doctor? Did you have a plan B?
Yeah. You see, I did. It's strange because if you ask me this question now versus if you had asked me then, the answers would be different. The answer I would give now would shock you, and the answer I'd give then.
Let's start with then.
Right.
Yeah.
I grew up in like a small, rural, undeveloped community, right? So we didn't know much in terms of various other career paths.
Yes.
It's either you're becoming a doctor, an engineer, a pilot, or a teacher.
Yeah.
So now there's so many other streams. There's like your actuarial science. There's so many other streams which we knew nothing about. So it really, for me, was either medicine or engineering.
Okay.
But now, looking back, I realized that I would not have enjoyed the engineering path. The thing that I'm so passionate about now, this is why I'm saying the answer that I would give you now is so different from the answer that I gave then. Now I'm so interested in like criminal detective work.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, we need to fast forward this. So you go to Cape Town, you do become a doctor, and then you decide to move to Canada. Why?
I have always been an explorer at heart.
Okay.
Now, for those who don't know where Polokwane is, where I come from, it is in the far end of the country. Cape Town is in the south end.
I know.
We are talking 1,700 kilometers away.
That's right.
And I had never been anywhere far like that. But I told myself at the age of 16 when I passed matric was that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to explore the world and see how people lived out there. So the same thing came when I finished medicine. I wanted to go very far, as far possible as I could. Especially the thing that fascinated me when I was young was the issue of the time zones.
Okay.
From when I was in primary school, and the teachers would always tell us that there are parts of the world where when we wake up, they go to sleep.
That's right, yeah.
This thing, it fascinated me so much. So to a point that, yes, when I finished all my obligations, internship and community service in South Africa, immediately I packed my bags and I left. And honestly, I would say Canada chose me. I didn't necessarily choose it.
Okay.
I didn't care where I went.
As long as you're far away.
That's right.
And in a different time zone.
That's right.
Okay.
And so I threw my application to Australia, to the UK, and to Canada. But the Canadian agent who was recruiting for the North, the remote areas of the North in LEKOTA, she was just so proactive in telling me what to do. If I send an email today, I'll get her response tomorrow.
So there was a sign.
Whereas the other people would take long. So
That's right.
she was just so prompt in telling me, this is what you need to do. Now you go for this. Now go for this. So I ended up in Saskatchewan, in LEKOTA. That's how I first arrived in this country.
And you first arrived, you have your first experience in hospital in Canada. How was that experience?
Oh, it was a throw in the deep, man.
Really?
Oh, it was a throw in the deep because everything was different. Besides the culture and the food and all of that, even the practice of medicine itself. I mean, the human body is the same everywhere. People are the same everywhere. So the actual medicine itself is the same. But even things like medication names and all of that. I used to have my prescriptions returned from the pharmacy all the time, written in big letters. What are these medications? Because I would have used like a trade name that we use in South Africa, and it's not here. Like if I told a nurse here, give this patient Panado, they have no idea what Panado is. Yeah. And that's what I used to do when I wrote my prescriptions and things like that. And the pharmacist didn't know exactly what this guy is talking about. So it was just all that, like I had to adapt to that big change.
Yeah.
Not
Start
learning all of that. So not even wanting to mention the culture shock, the food, the loneliness, because I was all alone, right? Yeah. Far away from family and parents. So yeah.
So what was the one unexpected experience when you got here, like especially in the hospital with a patient? Did they look at you and think you're young, you can't be my doctor, or how did it go?
Exactly. And you know, even this, I started experiencing it even when I was still in South Africa. Even in South Africa, it was, and indeed, I mean, I was young. I had just turned 23 years of age. Sometimes you seeing this patient who's much older than you.
That's true.
Old as your mom, and some of them, indeed, they were just shocked that you were the doctor that they were coming to pour out their most intimate stories and issues.
So they go like, call me the doctor, and you are the doctor.
Exactly. But funny enough, despite all of that, they always were respectful, and they maintained and knew that for you to be here, you had to be qualified, and you had to know what you're doing. And they gave you respect from that sense. So I never really got the sense that I was not being respected or being looked at as a doctor by patients.
Which is very interesting, because sometimes when you're young, people think you don't have much to give. But your expertise is something that earns you trust.
That's right.
So when you get to see a patient, how do you gain trust quickly? Because you are in the hospital. You don't have that patient-doctor relationship that you can build over a long period of time. So how do you make people gain trust and say, I can trust you with this, and they tell you whatever it is they want to tell you?
Yeah, so professionalism is key. So you walk in there, you've got to be your professional. You got to be mindful of your bedside manners. Yeah. And you get there, you introduce yourself, tell them who you are. You clearly mention in what capacity are you coming to see them.
That's
Like in hospitals, you've got urologists, you've got psychiatrists, and then so if you show up there, you tell them that this is who I am and this is what I do. So my background is family medicine, but I don't practice that much. I practice internal medicine in the hospital, so we deal with a lot more sicker patients. So professionalism, you introduce yourself, tell them what your specialty is, and right there and there, if you are clear with your patient and your intentions are, and you show that you have an understanding of their situation or what they are coming in with, that is one of the things that makes them to quickly and your trust. But I would say that professionalism and bedside manners, that will get you a long way.
Is there a reason why you prefer internal medicine more than being a family physician?
Yeah, lots, because family medicine is quite demanding.
Okay.
It's quite demanding in that apart from the fact that to start with, internal medicine, you deal with acutely ill patients. And acutely, I mean like those who are sick and very sick now. Family medicine, you're more focused on chronic issues. So acute is the opposite of chronic. Right. So with family medicine, you are dealing with a lot of chronic issues, meaning there's a lot of back and forth visits that happens between patients. And then on top of that, it comes in with so much paperwork and documentation, which has never really been my thing. I am so bad with that.
That's good. That's good when you know that.
That's right. And if you force yourself to do that, then you end up being not good. You end up making mistakes, right?
True.
So it is so demanding in that you also have to balance. You see, the beautiful thing about acute medicine is that when they come into the hospital, if they are having chest pain, that is the main reason they are having chest pain. They are not going to tell you about this 3-month-old ankle pain that has been bugging them, right? No. You deal with their chest pain and it's gone, and they are happy and they can go. So with family medicine, simply because it's so difficult to get into to see as a patient to see your doctor, especially where the ratio for family physician to patient is so high. Like even in this province, there's so much shortage of family physician to a point that you can wait a month or even more to get in to see your family doctor. And usually when they come with a list. They come with a list that needs to be of things that needs to be addressed. And mind you, there's 20 others on the queue waiting to see you, and you've got 15 minutes with each one of them.
And that's not fair.
That's not fair.
Not fair.
And you've got this old papa that has been waiting to see you
for 3 months.
For 3 months. You've dealt with his back pain. You've dealt with his heartburn issues. And now 15 minutes is gone. And just as he's about to go, he starts mentioning that, every time I shovel the snow, I can't breathe in my chest.
Oh.
You can't just say, your time is up.
No, you can't.
Other people are waiting. You have to go, come back. So is striking that balance that sometimes it can make you feel like you are not fulfilled in what you do, because at some point you end up feeling like you have to rush people out of the office. So it's that it got to me, and I also just love acute medicine better.
And that for me tells me, everybody do what you love and excel in it, and you'll be happy. But we'll have to come back and finish this conversation. If your medical specialty was a superhero, what would its power be in 1 second?
In 1 second, really, if I had all the powers to change things within the medical field, is to give the nursing staff more support.
Okay.
Because that is critical to patient care, and reduce the number of patient to nurse ratio, because it's so huge right now that one nurse has to deal with so many patients at the same time, and that sometimes can compromise patient care.
Let's hope those powers can be channeled one day. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on all our social media platforms to keep the conversations going. Thank you for joining us on Conversations. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you and yours. Shalom.